welcome everybody to another episode of the Table Talk podcast with the Hattens.
Yay.
I am Kari.
I'm Abby.
And we are here with episode 11 now. Yes, episode 11. And today we have the privilege and opportunity to speak with Mr. Myles from Unshaken Athletics. We had a great opportunity to meet with this gentleman about a week or so ago, meet with him personally and get to know his background and his journey. And it's very, very interesting. You want to hear what this man has to say. I'm not going to go too much deep into it, so I'm going to let him tell his side of the story, tell his story. And would you like to say something about just a quick intro about your experience with him so far, just getting to know him really fast?
Yeah, so Myles, we met him actually through our mailbox. We found his business card in our mailbox one day and about his business, and we immediately wanted to reach out to him and get to know him better. And after looking at his website, he's a professional certified personal trainer. He has his own business, Unshaken Athletics, and has had an incredible health journey, professional journey that we really wanted to share his expertise, his story with you all, and and hopefully, see what this relationship continues down the road.
And as always, here at Hatten Health, we love to focus on family,
health,
growth,
and empowerment.
So let's make it happen together.
Cheers to you. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, thank you guys. I'm very excited to be here and very excited to have met you both. Like you guys said, my name is Myles. I'm the founder and owner of Unshaken Athletics. We I'm a mobile personal trainer specializing in, helping professionals achieve pain-free exercise. So, that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, first, let's just dive into your story a little bit. Tell us, how you got into personal training, what motivated you to get into this field.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few years ago, I was, pretty severely overweight. I weighed 250 at one point, and I wasn't very happy with myself, and I really bust my butt in the gym for the following year, and I ended up losing 130 pounds, which I was a whole new person, and with that was a whole new mentality, and it really kind of changed my perspective on fitness.
Right.
And while doing that, I had friends come up to me and ask to train with me, and so we would train a little bit, and that really I really enjoyed that interaction as well, just kind of helping people help themselves. And so I had gone through that weight loss journey, and shortly after I had gotten injured while at work, and there was a whole bunch of pushback from them, and eventually, last October, I ended up needing back surgery from the injury that had occurred, and that kind of really gave me the opportunity to, take a step back from work and, take a look at what I wanted to do as far as work went. I had been in the food industry for a really long time, and it wasn't really my passion, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
And so given that time, it really took me back to, helping others, and then going through the rehab and stuff, and, learning all of that. It kind of even more so incentivized that thinking. And so while on, bed rest and doing rehab and such, I looked into, personal training certifications and, what all that took to get done. Came across NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, I went through their program and I got certified. And I'm still currently working on my corrective exercise specialization and nutrition, but
Nice.
uh, it's just really a passion shift.
Well, and
Yeah,
congratulations on
congratulations,
achieving that.
definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For anybody who is looking into getting into being a personal trainer and getting NASM certified, what was that experience like? What did you have to go through, and what was the steps that you had to do to make that happen? Because there's a lot of certifications that people would like to get, but they don't know the steps that it would take. They don't know that it might take longer than they expect, or you might have to go through different hoops more than they will expect to. So what did you have to do to make that happen? What was the process like?
Right, yeah, absolutely. Great question. So with the NASM program, I obviously I was in bed rest, so I couldn't go anywhere, practice any workouts or anything myself. So they have an online program available, where it's, basically an online textbook, and you go through, you read it, and it's pretty self-paced. So, if you were to really push through, you could easily get it done in, 3 months or so. And
Mhm.
I took a little bit longer. I was slightly more focused on, getting out of bed and
I was
whatnot.
gonna say you have
But
a lot going on.
Yeah.
right, yeah, and
You're gonna
so
getting better.
it took me closer to like 6 months to get it done, and
Still, that's
Still
great.
good, yeah.
To do it
yeah,
in just
yeah, no,
half a year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on some
We're
dirt
doing that now. We're currently doing that now with Precise Nutrition, getting those certifications up under our belt.
for over a year.
Over a year. It's supposed to take 6 months, but we moved and all the other things kind of got in the way. But we're still slowly trucking along with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, when she started doing, like we spoke about when we met you, started doing research and started taking courses, get more certifications under her belt, that made me want to do that too. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got all these cook and chef certifications for working in restaurants and such, but I wanted something a little further than that on the technical side that I can teach to others. So, and she showed me this program that she started, so we started it together, and now I'm locked in it. I'm enjoying it, enjoying textbook learning again, as far along with the practical application that I do on a daily basis. So, yeah, congrats to you, man. That's awesome.
thank you. Yeah, likewise. And I kind of experienced that same thing, like as far as enjoying the textbook, type of learning again. I remember through high school, I was not a fan, as
Same
I'm
here.
sure most people would agree with.
It is different
But
when you're
yeah, no,
motivated, right?
Yeah,
It's something that you want to
exactly.
pursue and
and an
like
adult.
and you pay for yourself and you're
Yeah.
right versus yeah, just high school or just school in general. Growing up, it's something
Exactly.
to do. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's different as
Different
an
things come
adult when
along.
you actually want to learn
Yeah, there's
something.
Yeah.
definitely different drivers when
Yeah,
you're older, incentives.
yeah. Oh, no, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about how you then transitioned into your own business versus like saying starting in a gym or something like that. Like what motivated you to start your own small business?
Yeah. So my mom actually, she's owned her own business for a while now. However, she's kind of only done it as like a side gig type of thing. Um, Now, up until recently, she's fully transitioned over into her own business, and she's a mobile massage therapist. And so that kind of gave me inspiration to, you know, be a mobile personal trainer. And, along with that, um, one of the reasons I find people don't enjoy going to the gym, um, or working out in general, is because they don't enjoy going to the gym, um, whether that's, they're uncomfortable with the environment, or even uncomfortable with the level of knowledge, like they're not confident in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And, that confidence or that lack of confidence, kind of drives you away from the gym.
Right.
And unfortunately, that tends to happen a lot. And so my mentality was, yeah, if I could bring that to the comfort of people's homes, or even even if it's not in their home, if it's somewhere, say like the soccer field in their community's park or something,
Yeah.
somewhere where they're more comfortable, then and offer them something that they can do outside the gym
Hmm.
that is just as beneficial, if not more, and fits into their busy schedule and life, because that life gets a little hectic, and
Yeah.
but fitness is important to prolong said life.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what where my mentality was as far as how I kind of shaped Unshaken Athletics.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and
Thank you.
you also do online programming too, right?
That's right. Yeah, and that kind of originated a little bit later, as I was kind of putting the business together, and I had a proof of concept program going, um, like a trial,
Yeah.
discounted trial, and one of those clients was moving away towards the end of our 6-week trial, and was curious on how we would continue to train together. And so that kind of got me to thinking, I'm like, okay, why limit myself to, X amount of cities, and where, I can reach a lot more people this way, um, and have the same effect.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you just train like over Zoom or FaceTime?
So I use trainer size, and
Okay.
um ideally we do, if they're doing the online programming, I like to do 3 check-ins a month, and that helps me know that they're doing okay with the programming if they're not reaching out, throughout the month, and B, it gives me an opportunity to reassess them and update their program, to keep them progressing.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah, helps you stay on track with them and gives them that more personable experience. Yeah, I love it
Exactly. Yeah.
And accountability too. I think
for
that
sure.
is just so huge for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Having somebody to be reliant on you, or having that schedule and somebody
Hmm.
to check in with you is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of one of the things I like about, using trainer size, is because a lot of different apps, you have to put different information, and how much food you ate in this app, and how much miles you ran in this app, and whatnot, and everything's
Right.
kind of put together and organized in one spot for me, so it's a lot easier for me to keep keep track of their progress, and uh, reprogram them as necessary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So with like so many different other personal trainers out there, or online personal trainers out there, or ones that do mobile personal training, do you feel like is that one of the things that sets you apart from them, or is it that plus something else also?
I think a lot of the mobile personal trainers do offer online trainers, however, or online programming. Um, However, from what I've noticed, a lot of the mobile personal trainers are like companies, so there's more than one worker, and if that means one trainer, if your trainer calls out, they'll probably be replaced with another trainer, which, in my opinion, isn't always the best option. If you have a trainer and that trainer calls out, or something, gets sick, and you have an online programming to back it up, or to make up your session
Mhm.
to an extent, then I find that more important if it's done by your personal trainer, because your trainer's personal to you.
Yeah.
Right. They know you, and yeah,
Exactly.
your
Yeah.
goals, and yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of hard to switch around.
And then
Hmm.
yeah, just kind of in a lot of those companies, from doing my research, a lot of them are based in Denver, so there's not a lot coming down south this direction.
Right.
Right.
How did you come up with the name Unshaken Athletics? And
Unshaken
what was your mind frame
Athletics.
going into figuring out how you wanted to call your business and stick out from everybody else? Because I know you had to. There's some personal connection to everybody's name when they're building their company. So what's yours?
Absolutely. Yeah, so Unshaken Athletics kind of came to me again during that bed rest when I was, working on my school and whatnot. And, I was at a pretty low point. I was getting a lot of pushback from the company that I had worked with for 10 years, and I was an RGM there, and felt like was getting a finger back to back to the face, and it was a big betrayal. And I had lost my apartment and obviously my job, and I was just going through a lot of loss. So I was trying to find a way to take take that opportunity and make it an opportunity, or take that experience and make it an opportunity.
Mhm.
Everything happens for a reason, so I wanted to find the reason. And um,
Those kind of situations, those rock bottom situations, is
Yeah.
when people rise up and
Yep. You have
you've
nowhere
got
else
to
to
think of
go.
that.
It's like my back is broken,
exactly,
but I'm
it's
not broken. You can't shake me. You can't break me. Let's go. Show you what I can do.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to, going through the rehab and proving it to myself, and going through my original weight loss journey and proving it to myself. Then I wanted to, have the opportunity to prove it to other people, and
There you go.
let them experience it, and that unshaken isn't, or being strong isn't always about how much you know weight you can lift. It's about how many times you can be pushed down and get back up. It's
Hmm.
about resilience.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
you can be uh, you know unshaken is a mentality as opposed to a physical aspect, in my opinion.
Just being solid,
That's
right?
kind of where I'm
Yeah.
going for it. Yeah, exactly.
When you were going through all those trials, when you hit rock bottom, what helped you keep that positive mindset? Were you reading any books or reading or listening to podcasts, or like what helped you get through all of that?
Um, so I kind of I really put my head down, and I was throughout high school I had done rugby and weightlifting and stuff, so I knew how to do everything. I just didn't really know how to do it in the way to get where I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And on top of that, like, running was like the last thing I wanted to do, right? And
Yeah.
so um and then my diet was out of control, and I just had to do some uh a lot of research, really. And I had found some uh social media people who I had kind of kept up with, that were kind of my age at the time and doing the similar things. And I taking notes, and just kind of taking notes from all these different resources, and kind of putting them putting them in a way to where they related to me.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of made my own program that way, and it
Nice.
ended up, it shed my weight. Obviously, it was 130 in a year's pretty not the easiest thing to do.
No,
And
Major.
it's
Yeah.
huge.
Most
And
people don't do that in 5 years. You did it in one
no,
year? Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, and no, it was, so really kind of me knowing that I could do it, and like seeing the progress. I would take weekly photos, and
Hmm.
um seeing the progress visually was definitely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Um Whenever I would hit like plateaus or something, I would just kind of, I would tell myself, consistency, and uh, really kind of again, put my head down. Uh, I was working a lot too. So, I was working like 80-hour weeks usually. I think, yeah, because, yeah, 80-hour weeks. So I basically go to work, and then the gym was right next to my work. So I'd
Oh, there you
Wow.
go.
Yeah.
change, go to the gym, go home, sleep, repeat. So
Yeah.
it kind of just turned into a habit and like a pattern of mine. And once I kind of made it through that, that process of making it a habit,
Yeah.
everything else kind of,
Oh,
fell in place.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because during that time, the time, like you're so busy, you're not thinking about it in real time every day. So the time goes by quick, days go by fast. Before you know it, you look up, months go by, you see a picture of yourself 4 or 5 months ago, like, oh, there is a difference. Something happened. And then
Yeah,
you look
yeah,
up before
exactly.
you know it, a year went by. You're like, wow, this transformation is real. Like that really happened. How? Why? Because you was busting your butt so much. You was just in the thick of it, not realizing what was happening every minute, every day. And that's
Exactly.
amazing. You look back
And
and you
not
see that.
overthinking it either, right?
Yeah,
You,
for
like you
sure.
said, you went to work, you went to the gym, you went
Hmm.
home and slept,
Right,
like you got into that routine
Hmm.
and didn't have to think about it too much,
Right.
probably. So,
right. And it's kind of
yeah.
one of those things like, if you haven't seen a family member, particularly a kid, in a long time, and then, a few years have passed and you see them again, you go meeting them with an idea of what they look like, and they look completely different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It's kind of what happens when you look at yourself in the mirror every day. You see yourself, and that's what you look like. You don't see what you looked like before. So
Yeah.
taking
No kidding.
those taking those visual pictures definitely help, and
Hmm.
it's something I definitely suggest to my clients.
Yeah, because it's change is so gradual. You don't see it as it's happening. You see it after it's already happened. But
Right.
I love it.
That's amazing. Can you walk us through kind of like what a session looks like with you, like what you prioritize with your clients, especially like, in being mobile? I'm sure you are working with all kinds of different equipment or maybe no equipment at homes. Do you have like a criteria that certain clients have to have like certain amount of things at home, or how do you go about that? How do you manage
No,
that?
so I go in to each client with the almost with the expectation that they don't have any equipment. Obviously, if they have equipment, it's less things I have to carry.
Yeah.
But I bring any and all equipment that's necessary
Okay.
to any and all clients. And it's, I sanitize it after every session, um, and as far as like kind of the process of how a session would go, obviously it depends on, the client's goals and uh, what they were kind of going for, and what we were working on for that particular day. But I try to hit um, every portion of like your physical necessities. So like, balance, strength, endurance.
Right.
I try to hit a little bit of everything every session. So, I like to start off with recovery. Like, I know that kind of sounds funny, but we'll start with some myofascial rolling and, static stretching with a light, you know, some kind of cardio workout, something to get your heart going. And then
Right.
we'll move into whatever we're working on, whether that's plyometrics or um, you know core strengthening or leg day type of thing. And then from there, we'll go into, I like to add a client's choice portion to it. So
Okay.
I let anything you want to do, you choose a workout, and we're doing
Right.
that. And so that kind of adds a nice little twist to it, and the clients obviously enjoy that. And that's kind of what we end off on. And from there, we go into more recovery, where we'll hit more myofascia and do more stretching. And uh, if it was a little bit more of a heavier workout, we'll do a cool down
Mm.
prior to that myofascial rolling and static stretching. Um, but yeah, no, I go in. I usually try to show up a few minutes early. That way, I have enough time to get everything in, set up, and we can start right when you're scheduled, and we go until you're done, and pack up and head out. And
Yeah.
If we're doing in-person training, I typically update the program as we go, as opposed to the online training. Like how I said, I like to meet with them, every 10 days or three times a month, just so to kind of get that assessment in.
Right.
So, and then obviously that kind of helps me guide my clients while doing the in-person training, not only for my own programming, but it helps them as far as, hey, look, this is, 4 weeks ago you could only do two push-ups and now you're doing 10 type of
Yeah.
thing. So uh, it's not something they typically keep track of. It's my job. So
Right.
it's that's always a nice, fun thing to show them in
Right.
addition.
Would you like to share any of those client wins or testimonials from any of your favorites or things that's made you proud as far as like success stories with any of your clients? You don't have to say names or anything, but just if anything off your memory.
Yeah. One of my just off the top of my head, one of my clients, he was having, he came with me with the intention of, he wanted to grow his chest and just muscle mass in general. And um and so, him and I started working, and during our assessment, our original assessment, I found a couple muscle imbalances throughout his legs and his shoulder. And I had asked him about his shoulder, and he had mentioned that, it was he thinks he was double jointed, or maybe that it like dislocates or something, but his shoulder like just kind of slides out.
Mm,
And it's not like it wasn't like a doctor thing or anything, so I but he felt always weaker on that side. So that was kind of something that we started incorporating into our program. And he, towards the end of the 6 week trial, he was actually the guy who had um, was planning on moving away.
mm,
He had, mentioned how much stronger he was in his shoulder, and that, during chest press, which it was a lot of the stuff that we worked on with him was like his form.
mhm,
He realized that his form was just way off, and that, the last few years that he's been going to the gym and, trying to work on his chest and just seeing no improvements, and because of his form, he hasn't been working his chest. Um, and so kind of opening his eyes to that, and um, you know, while working with his shoulder, it almost helped him perform the form to do chest better, which, overall helped him. He's still going at it as far as I'm aware, and it's
nice.
helped him, feel stronger on his chest as well.
That's awesome.
Cool. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a great testimonial. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything else that you want to share about either your own story or about your business that you want people to know about you that we didn't
Uh,
ask or touch on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone out there who's wanting to exercise, but you feel that you're not doing it correctly, or maybe it even hurts to exercise, and um, or even if it's something just as like, functionality, as, balance getting down the stairs, or taking the milk out of the fridge, I'd be more than happy to, help you achieve those goals. And, as far as nutrition and, family diet and stuff goes, the Hatten family here they have a great business going, and
I'll say.
yeah, no, you guys are great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you
Thank
too.
you.
And yeah, we'll share all your socials, your contact info, and then
Thank you.
episode description. So we'll share all of that. But how's the best way for people to contact you?
And will you be popping up anywhere at anything live to present your business? Are you doing that
Um, I'm
also?
de de I'm definitely keeping an eye out for some like city of commerce type of things, and things in that way as far as getting out publicly. I'm also, just trying to approach people at stores such as like Cottage, and people who I can see are actively searching a healthy lifestyle. I just, maybe just is, someone going up to them, asking them about, if their fitness is something that they're interested in, is, that something that they can't find on aisle 4 or something, like,
Fast.
Yep.
kind of doing something like that. And best way as far as, my website's unshakenathletics.com. And, Instagram's unshaken_athletics. Facebook's Unshaken Athletics. Feel free to, reach out, DM me. I'd love to chat, learn more about your goals. Feel free to, give me a follow. And please, if you know anyone that, experiencing any kind of fitness troubles, send them my way, send them my profile.
Absolutely.
Yep, and you service the South Metro Denver area. I don't know if we've said that yet on this episode, but
Okay.
right. Yeah. Or online.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Anybody can join you, but specifically
Yes, absolutely.
South Denver area.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. I think we did it. This was an awesome episode, awesome show. We definitely appreciate you spending a little time with us, letting everybody know about what you and Unshaken Athletics does and is all about, and your journey, which is very inspiring to a lot of people, very inspiring to me. I feel like I need to go work out again right after this. We was exercising with our daughter earlier today before you started the show today. And I want to go do some more now, just hearing your story.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Doing YouTube Tabata kid workouts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she loves that.
Consistency.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I had a crazy workout last night. I want to go again already. So thank you for the motivation.
That's awesome. Yes, anytime.
Well, we try to do these episodes. Sometimes we forget about doing them, but we have these positive affirmation cards that we always like to draw one out. And just to get on here. So, Myles, pick a number between 1 and 10.
Let's go with 8.
8. Okay.
3, 4, 5. You're shuffling.
8, 9, 10. You want to read it?
Sure. Her deck is like this big, so she's like shuffling through all the cards.
And they're double-sided too.
Mm-hmm. I'll start with this side. A light heart lives strong. William Shakespeare. Hopefully I can zoom in on that in the editing. If not, I'll say it again. A light heart lives strong. William Shakespeare. What is your takeaway from that?
They can kind of Myles' whole story about his recovery and everything, like just staying positive, motivated, and you're so much stronger now from that. I think.
Yeah. Heavy heart, you got a lot weighing on your heart, a lot dragging you down. You got anchors, and that's hindering you from success, no matter what aspect of life that is. So a light heart lives long. That's what I got from that.
Yeah, light heart and strong mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
They coincide.
I'm not sure if I misspoke by saying that. It says lives long. I think I said strong, but yeah, we answered both of those words. What we said, what you said. So yeah, it all ties in together. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm here. I'm here to help you live strong, and you guys help them live long.
So they all work.
That's what we're all about here too.
On top of being about that, we're also about family,
health,
growth,
and empowerment.
So let's make it happen.
Together.
And cheers to you.
Thank you for being on the Table Talk podcast. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate being here.
And we appreciate you, and thank you, listening and viewing audience, for tuning in to the Table Talk podcast with Kari and Kari and Abby of Hatten Health. And we will see you on the next one.
Yep.
See ya.
Cut. Yay. Thank you.